I felt the movement of the ship. It seemed to be going upward, maybe just like a whale, to take in a little air. While I was making these observations, Ned and Conseil woke up almost at the same time, and soon they were hungry again. But this time no man appeared with food. Time moved on, and we were getting terribly hungry. Hours passed, and Ned Land's temper worsened. He cried, he shouted, but it made no difference. No food arrived, and no sound was heard in the ship. Everything was as quiet as death. Conseil and I suffered in silence, while Ned shouted, screamed, and protested. Ned and I had different ways of dealing with our fears, but whatever we did, it changed nothing. The simple fact was that we had to wait until we could understand our fate. Finally, a noise was heard outside. The door opened, and a man appeared. Before I could stop him, Ned rushed toward the man and knocked him down. He put his hands around the man's neck. We tried to stop him, but Ned was strong, and it was difficult. But eventually something did stop him. Ned let go of the man when he heard someone say in perfect French, "Stop this, Mr. Land." It was the tall man again. It was clear to me now that this man was the commander of the vessel. From his voice you could tell that he was used to being obeyed. And Ned did obey. He got to his feet immediately. Then the commander looked at all three of us with those calm, fearless eyes that I remembered from our first meeting. "Gentlemen," he said, "I speak French, English, German, and Latin well. I could have answered you when we met the first time, but I needed to reflect a little. I needed some time to make a decision. The stories you told me convinced me of your identity. I now know that chance has brought you to me. It has brought you to a man who has broken all of his ties with humanity. I want nothing to do with your world. I don't belong to it anymore. And that is why your presence troubles me greatly." "We didn't want to intrude," said I. "Intrude?" replied the commander. "Didn't you intrude when you chased me in the Abraham Lincoln? Didn't you intrude when you fired your guns at me? And when your harpoon hit my ship?" He was irritated, but I had an answer for him. "Sir, no doubt you have heard nothing of the discussions taking place in America and Europe. People think that your ship is a monster. There have been so many accidents over recent months. When we chased you, we believed we were dealing with some dangerous creature, or even a powerful sea monster." A half-smile could be seen on the commander's lips. "Are you telling me that you would not have attacked had you known you were dealing with a submarine?" I didn't know how to answer this question. Captain Farragut might have attacked him anyway. He would certainly have seen the submarine as a threat. I said nothing, and the commander took my silence to mean that I saw his point. "Then you understand that I have the right to treat you all as enemies. I didn't have to take you on board. I could have left you on the top of my submarine and gone down, forgetting about you forever." "But you are a civilized man," I said. "Professor," replied the commander quickly, "I am not a civilized man. I am finished with society. Therefore I do not recognize or obey its laws." The calm and soft eyes I had seen before were showing anger now. What had happened to this man, and what was behind those eyes? For now I understood one thing and one thing only. In front of me was a man who answered to no one. God, if he believed in him, and his own conscience, were the only judges that mattered to him. I looked at this man with a mixture of fear and interest. After rather a long silence, the commander continued the conversation. My name is Nemo, Captain Nemo, and you are now passengers of the ship, the Nautilus. You will remain on the Nautilus for the rest of your life. Destiny has placed you here, and here you will stay. You will be free to explore the ship. You will be able to go where you want. In exchange for your freedom, I have only one condition. What is this condition? I asked. I hope it is a condition that an honest man can accept. During our journey, there might be some moments when I will tell you to stay in your cabin. You must obey me if I tell you to do this, and you will not be allowed to come out until I tell you. Do you accept this condition? Before I answer, I would like to ask you one question. One only, I replied. Speak, sir. You say that we will be free to explore the ship, but this freedom you talk about is not real freedom. It is only what every prisoner has when he is pacing his prison. It can't be enough. It will have to be enough, replied Nemo. But will we never see our country, our family, and our friends again? No, sir, you won't. But the freedom you are talking about is not real freedom. I am sure that you will not miss it as much as you think. This was too much for Ned. He had to say something. I will never promise to remain here on this ship. I will keep trying to find a way out of here, he shouted. I didn't ask for such a promise, replied Captain Nemo. I just want you to promise to remain in your cabins if or when I order you to. Sir, this is cruelty, said I. No, Professor, this is an act of mercy. You are my prisoners of war. With a single word I could throw you back into the sea. Instead, I am offering you the protection of the Nautilus. You attacked me, remember. I could have left you to die. You almost ruined everything, and you think I'm going to send you back to that world that must never know anything about me anymore. No, sir, I cannot permit that. So, to put it simply, the choice we have is between life on the Nautilus or death at sea? Exactly, replied the captain. Under those circumstances, the only thing we can do is accept your terms, said I. We will go to our rooms when you tell us to. But there is one thing that we will never promise. As my friend Ned has said, we will never promise to remain here inside the Nautilus for the rest of our lives. We cannot promise that. We will try to escape. The captain seemed satisfied with this response, and he said no more. Who was this man? What was his story? And why was he so angry with the world? I had met no one like him. No one. This thought helped me to realize something. Nemo is a Latin word, and it means no one.
Discussion. Discussion. Discussion.
Civilized. Civilized. Civilized.
Cabin. 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 Temper. Temper. Temper.
Irritate. Irritate. Irritate.
Destiny. Destiny. Destiny.
如果你喜欢我的视频，请帮我点赞、订阅、加分享，你的支持就是我最大的动力。If you like this video, please help me to share this video. Thank you for your support.